Hey, Robin here, and today I've got James, DJ King, or DJ King James, depending on how you call it, and he's going to be on the show for the next hour. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of questions. We're going to cover a bunch of fun stuff, cool stuff. We're going to find out a whole bunch of things, and the big thing is that he's the hot guy on the actual YouTube when it comes to DJ superstars because his last two videos popped, and I saw that. I added a link for that down below. I added your link to your, so if you see the actual links there, by all means use them. The the QR code right in the middle of the screen. So if you're watching this on your TV, thank you very much. It's always cool. It turns out 45% of you do. Awesome. And you can use your phone right now and scan that QR code, and that'll get you to his actual YouTube channel, which you can watch after this show, and just to get things going. So James, here you are. How you doing? What's going on tonight? James, is volume good on your end?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, so you're good, I'm good. Okay, holy shit. All right, there you go. There's our glitch for today, because I mandatory have to have a glitch. It's like, you know, it's like Apollo 13 every live stream for me. All right, let's do this again, because sorry, nobody heard that you were so nice to me. So I'll let you go ahead and start over again. Everybody heard me talking to you up and everything like that. So we're going to let you do your spick here and let it go there and see what's going on. By the way, I want to thank Rick. I want to touch DJ Cody. I want to thank everybody out there who's really helping. I know all's good. Thank you, TC. That was awesome, by the way. I want to give everybody a shout out because you know what? Without you guys there making the comments, it would just be a mute show. It'd be like, you know, a mime thing going on.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
All right, James, it's all yours. Let us know. Okay, we can get into the questions if you want. And you can tell us stories as we get along because this is pretty cool shit. Like I said, I'm glad to have you as my very first guest. And in 10 years, someone's going to cancel the show. So.
Well, like I said earlier when no one could hear me, I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much. And I was really shocked when my last couple of videos, I saw you drop in the comments. I saw Aaron Strawn drop in the comments, and I was like, "Uh-oh, you know, something must be happening. Like something's popping off or something." Because the big boys on YouTube are starting to notice me. So I thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to always upgrade my video content each time I post a new video. I'm trying to make them funnier, more entertaining, as well as informative. So that's
yeah,
my goal.
no. Keep up the job on the shorts, though, by the way. The one with your wife, if everybody, like I said, I put the links, I put the QR code. When he does his shorts are pretty funny. So, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, let's start with some of the questions we got. Now, for everybody else, I did list the questions in the actual description so you can see what's coming up there. But by all means, we're going to cover all these. And we're going to keep it lighthearted here. So, first of all, why'd you become a DJ? That's always the obvious. What happened in your past that made you decide you want to do this now?
So it's a funny story. It really is. So I was in high school. I was in band. I was in from seventh grade all the way through college. I was in marching band. I played trumpet. I played drums, and I just have always been into music. And when I graduated from school, or when I started my career, I was actually a BMW mechanic. So I had no like musical anything, you know. And so my trumpets were in the attic. The most thing I did with music is play Rock Band on PS4. So back in the day, and so I was missing it, you know. And well, it was kind of like subconscious because you know I started my life, my family, with my wife and everything. And then we happened to go to a Chainsmokers concert here in Houston at the rodeo. And what's funny is, you know, the rodeo is mostly country artists, but they always bring in every year they bring in one like EDM or pop star. And at that year, that's when the Chainsmokers were popping off with their song "Closer," and they were all on the radio. So they come in, and I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, let's go," because we'd been to the rodeo hundreds of times, and I was like, "Let's go check out, you know, Chainsmokers." So we go, and she didn't even know who they were because like she mostly just listens to country music. I don't know why that popped up. That was weird. A little, anyway. And so I was like, "This is the coolest stuff I've ever seen." You know, like I'm trying to keep it PG.
You can say shit. Don't worry about it. It's live. There's not much that you can't say on the show, so don't worry about that.
Right. And anyway, so I told my wife literally that night we were coming home, and I said, tomorrow I'm learning how to DJ because I always wanted to in high school, but in high school I couldn't afford. I graduated in 2000, so the things that were popular then were turntables, mixers. They were thousands of dollars. I mean, you could get some cheap ones, but and so I was like, I'm gonna research this. And by that time, of course, I had a career, I had money, so I was like, I'm gonna research how do I do this. And so I got on YouTube the next day. I spent every waking hour watching tutorials, watching what equipment to buy, watching just all kinds of different videos. And I went on to Facebook Marketplace. I got me an SX2 controller. I got the guy I bought the controller from gave me 2 terabytes of music, which I didn't. I ended up not using any of it because he was a completely different kind of DJ than I wanted to be. But so I had something to play with, and I had two little crappy. Man, I should have sent you the picture of my first setup. I had these two. They were like home stereo speakers that I put on a desk, and I just started playing, man, and immediately fell in love with it and never looked back. I just I love it, man. I love the technology side of it. I love the equipment. That's why my channel is focused around the speakers and stuff like that because I just love most DJ. Sorry if I'm going on too long
No,
on your
no, go
first
ahead, go
question.
ahead. No, 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 no.
But I just love like most DJs. They find like they buy a set of speakers and they want to use them for 10 years. Where I'm the complete opposite. I buy a set of speakers, I use them at 2 events, and then I'm like, I watch your videos and I'm like, ooh, what if I took that speaker and added this subwoofer, and what if I crossed it over with this and that, and I'm like, ooh, 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 and so I just love it, man. So that's why I call myself the flea market speaker DJ or whatever because I I go on Facebook Marketplace and find deals, and I got 6 different column arrays. I have 3 different point source systems, just because I love it. I
And
told my
I
wife
can
I'm
I can back you up on the fact that you buy an awful lot of stuff because James has got himself a brand new subwoofer. Well, secondhand. So he basically bought a previously enjoyed subwoofer from Guitar Center, and he
That's
told me
right.
that. And then guess what showed up on my list of affiliate link purchases? You, the $250 S12 Harbinger subwoofer. So
That's
thank you
right.
very much, by the way. So when I say click on the links, this is what happens.
You're welcome.
So there you go. There you go. So we're up to now. We're up to now. So now we know how you became a DJ, and I was going to ask you why
Mhm.
why you became a DJ now, right? Or what happened in the past, what happened now. But now you can definitely tell it's because of the love of the whole thing, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
you do it part time. This we know, right? So it's not a full time gig for you, which is kind of awesome. So
Yeah.
how do you juggle that a bit? How do you make that happen?
So I'm kind of fortunate in that my day job during the week, I run an insulation plant, and it's a family owned business, and my wife's family own it. So I've been there 16 years. They made me start from the bottom. It took me like 7 or 8 years to build my way up, and that's basically when I started DJing. Was once I took over running the place. So it's pretty like lenient on like if I need to go early one day or to go check out a venue, or if I need to have a Friday off because it's a Friday wedding or whatever. It's I'm afforded that.
There you go.
So yeah,
That's a lucky thing to have. That's a lucky thing to
yeah.
have. So there you go.
And
So
then the other thing is that all the money I make DJing, I just put back into DJing, like into more gear, into more. So that's why I have so much stuff, and that's why I can afford it because my day job pays all the bills, pays all that, and then the DJ money is just extra stuff. So I try not to come off as like I got everything. I'm trying not to be like that. I don't want to
no,
be that way.
you know
It's
what?
just
No, because you know what? You're doing all the stuff at home, which is pretty awesome stuff, and you get
yeah.
to go out and do your stuff and all that. And you know what? There's always a learning curve. I mean,
Hmm.
I know when I'm going to be on your show, it's, we'll talk about how, I'm like the king of pile, right? So, I mean, that used to be a lot of content that we had back when we started because 7 years ago, you couldn't find anybody talking about anything else. So it was like that just happened to be popular, easy, and there. But yeah, Well, you're pretty lucky then in that case. I mean, you get out
Yeah.
there, you know, you've got to, you're not just having fun with it. You're actually, you know, you're quite the personal kind of character. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So here we are. Let's look at the list here of the next question. So these are a little bit quicker for me, but you talk for as long as you want.
All right.
So this one's simple. Preferred software. You were talking about, you know, the music Buddy had and you didn't like it. So what kind of software you know, you're using Rekordbox, Serrato, Virtual DJ. What you playing around with?
So when I first started, I started directly on Serrato, and the reason why I had an SX, I bought an SX2, and the guy I bought it from was a kind of like a bar nightclub DJ, and but he was on the Spanish side, like the Tejano type side, and so that's what they used, I guess. And he told me, you know, this is what you got to use, and I'm like, okay, I didn't know, you know, and so I got Serrato, and plus the SX2 worked, you know, Pioneer DJ, it worked with Serrato, so I just jumped on there and I learned it, and then probably like 6 months in, maybe 8 months in, virtual DJ was like a much better mobile DJ option or whatever. I downloaded it. I hated it. Like the interface, I can't stand it. It's ugly. I hate it. You know, but a lot of mobile guys love it, and it has a lot of features that Serato doesn't have. But what I found was I like not having all that extra stuff. Like I want to be clicking the songs, pushing the buttons. I don't want auto mix. I don't want all this auto
Yeah.
tempo, all this
Yeah.
stuff. Like I want to work when I'm there because it's fun. I like it. You know, it's like I want them. You know, I bought the furniture so they can see me moving my hands, turning the knobs, adjusting the faders. You know, doing. I want them to see me like working at their event. So I mean, I like Serato. That's what I use. I tried them all. I downloaded them all. They're all on my laptop. I don't like Rekordbox. I don't like Virtual DJ. I tried DJ, the newest one. I think is DJ Pro or something. Now that one is pretty good. I'll admit, because it looks much better than Virtual DJ, and it has all the same functionality as Virtual DJ. So if I were gonna switch, it would be to that one. But I'm not switching.
No, no, well,
I'm not
that's it,
switching.
right? I mean, you
Yeah.
get attached. You get attached, right?
Yeah.
I knew a DJ. He had all tractor gear. Like they basically promote him because he ran one of the biggest bars here, and you know they set him up with all the equipment. But no friggin' way they had to make a patch back in the day so this way he can run Serato off of track. And it was like, and it's like, yeah, no, it's if you want the gear there, you can have it, but it's still got to run Serato.
Yeah,
So,
I've never tried tractor, so I don't know
no,
anything
no,
about tractor.
you know, there's lots. It's like anything. If you get used to something at first, you know, it's just a lot easier. It's like I don't have a Mac. I know you do. It's
Mm.
just, you know, every time people, oh, Mac's easy. I just go use it. And it's like whenever I get in front of a Mac, it's like, how do I do this? And it's too easy. I need complicated, you know. So, but yeah. So now we're going to get into some. Okay. So if we're not into touchy subjects when it comes to using software, this one's a big touchy So first of all, I'm not going to ask you to define point source or and the line array versus column array, but I will ask you: do you have a preference between your line arrays or sorry, your just arrays because some of them are columns, some of them are line, but and your point source, your regular speaker setups? Do you have a preference between what you like making music through,
So, okay, it depends on the event. So,
or
I'm
who's
mostly a
paying you right
wedding.
now to sponsor their product?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Unfortunately, no one has yet paid me to sponsor their products. Hopefully, that's coming. No, I'm just kidding. But I will 100% be transparent about that. Anyway, but I'm mostly a higher end. I'd like to say higher end wedding DJ, and so of course for those events, it depends on the room. So if it's a medium sized room, and if it's like 150, 175 or less, then I'm doing column array every single time. If they're just easier, I think they sound better. Well, okay, no, hold on, before everybody freaks out. Sound better? No, okay, no. But I think I like the dispersion, and I like what they're designed for. You know, they're designed to make a hot spot for the dance floor, and then the outskirts of the dance floor, people can still talk, chat, whatever. You know, I'm not trying to blow everybody's eardrums out because it's not a nightclub. Now, if we're going over 200 people, then If I do column arrays, then I will do additional satellite speakers, and those typically would be like an Everse 8, or it'd be another point source, but I'll do it wireless, and I'll do it like somewhere where it's needed. And then if we're going, if it's a big room and it's over 200, I'm going point source. And my favorite point source is the LD Icoa series. Man, they are so good. Like, I love them. And then column arrays, I like them all. I've got the cheap ones from China. I've got Bose. I've got the more expensive stuff. And again, all these will be featured on my channel when I get to them. I'm
Oh,
just kind
that's
of
it.
slowly building my way up.
And that's it. I mean, as long as you're open to you bring out the right gear to match. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I always size it up to pickup trucks.
Yeah.
The biggest analogy, I'm sure like all these people in Europe are going, is that all these people in the out there talk about pickup trucks? But it's like that. Like, I mean, you know what? Some jobs only need an F-150, but some
Mm-hmm.
jobs you're going to need to rent a quarter ton, a half ton. You're going to need to rent yourself a 5 ton truck to do the job. You're going to need
Exactly.
what you need for the job. So it doesn't matter if your everyday products are the most popular. Occasionally you need some big ass shit. But yeah, you seem to be like on top of it because you have an assortment of everything. And,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it costs you a lot more than it costs me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a difference. Like, my hobby basically, I just got to a point where I said, I like doing this, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going to open a store. so,
Yeah.
so I'm not committed to buying. I'll just buy it and sell it off later on. So here we are. We're up to our next question. Okay. Well, this is curious because so before I get to this, I've seen some of your videos and I realize you've had different models of these things. So you're a controller. Do you have a brand preference for controllers? I know some people like diehards. I gotta have the Pioneer. Or I gotta have, the Denon, or I gotta have a Tractor. Or I gotta have something specific. That's what I like.
Yeah.
What's in your cup?
So I'm not brand loyal. I'm definitely not brand loyal. So I started with a Pioneer SX2, and then I went from that to the DDJ 1000 SRT, which is Serrato version of the 1000. I loved that controller. I used it for probably 3 years, and then I was like, okay, I want something. I want the biggest thing you can get out there. I want the turntables. I want the real deal. Just to feel it for myself. It was just gonna be in my home studio, and so I ended up finding on Facebook Marketplace, like I do, I found the Rain 12s and the Rain 71 mixer that goes with that setup. So I bought those, put them in my studio, and I'm like, dude, this is DJing. Like, this just feels awesome. But trying to get that in and out of a wedding venue, especially here in Houston, most of them are barns, and there's lots of elevation changes, and trying to like either carry that in or wheel it and then go up ramps and stuff. I'm like, I tried it, a couple times. I'm like, nah, man, nah, this is not good. So I ended up actually shout out to my boy Danny B. He has a YouTube channel as well. And by the way, guys, if you're looking for the best DJ gig logs on YouTube, check out DJ Danny B's uh, YouTube page. I actually told him he should charge the customers for his gig logs because they're that good. And he's taught me a lot of stuff that I do on YouTube. So shout out to my man. But uh, he was using the Rain One, and the Rain One is just a smaller version of the two turntables with and I was already used to using the Rain 12s, and so I was like, shoot, man, I'm gonna. So I ended up trading my DDJ 1000 for the Rain One. I put that in my furniture, and I like it. I like it a lot, but I found that the one thing I don't like about Rain products, for whatever reason, maybe this is just my ears, I don't know, but I feel like the Pioneer controllers sound better coming out of the speakers than the Rain controllers. Now, I don't know, if they use different sound cards. What I'm sure they do, but and also the gain controls on the Rain are so sensitive. Like you can move your Rain gain main gain control like there's 10 notches. You can move it one notch and it can go from quiet to screaming. And it's like it makes no sense. And the Pioneers are way better in that regard. So I'm not brand loyal. I like them all. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
have I have Pioneer controllers. I have Rain controllers. I even have the battery powered Newmark little controller that's a all in one, and it's a cool system to take out for like school events and like I think in 2 weeks I'm doing in my backyard, literally my daughter's school. They're doing like a pep rally for the little fifth grade cheerleaders and football or whatever, and I'm gonna DJ that, and I'm it's perfect for those kinds of things. But yeah, so I like them all.
There you go. No, that's very impressive because a lot of people do get down the rabbit hole of the straight and narrow. Like when I had the store, I didn't sell Pioneer. There's a whole reason story behind that, but I sold everything else. And if somebody came in and they wanted a Pioneer, you get the diehard, and it's like, no way, I'm not talking to you about anything. Now, here's a very important question: when you're doing the weddings, chicken or steak?
Oh man, I am a Texas boy, and we love our cattle down here, so I'd have to go steak.
Go steak.
I love my red meat. Yeah, I mean, it's funny too because like I've had so many hobbies in my life. We'll probably get to that later, but I ate so much chicken and fish in my younger years that yeah, I'm a red meat guy now.
So how do you pull it off? I mean, it's like we were having that conversation here, and it was something that Aaron brought up, and then there's a whole story on that too that we can cover one day. But how do you pull that off? You're at a wedding. I mean, and like here we were talking about, I'm going, my wedding, which was a long, long time ago, and it's like it all went off well, no problems. Nobody got arrested. There was no fights in the parking lot. Nothing happened. Everybody had a great time. Everybody partied. There was open bar, and like how I tell people coming in the store, I have no memory because I was pretty hammered, but it's because everything just went well. The DJ came in, and the DJ, did a good job. It was great all night. Took care of everything, and I hate to, bust Aaron's bubble, but I don't know my DJ's name.
Yeah.
and it's like lots of people at my wedding. I couldn't tell you if the DJ was in the photo or not. And I couldn't tell you if the DJ had supper or not. I'm assuming probably did. So, but how do you pull that off if you're at a show? Now I would think that today I'm a lot more responsible. I would ask my DJ if we're going to give you a meal ticket to be there, we're going to ask the kitchen to have a meal ready before the show for the event. But I mean, what happens when you go to a wedding and someone says, "Oh, by the way, you can have a plate too"?
Well, that's the thing. Like, because I only do a few events, my couples that I do events for, I make sure that we're a good fit. Like, we're a really good fit. So we're almost on like a friend level. Like, it's close. Because I'll typically have one or two Zoom meetings beforehand, and then I show up hours before. I go in and say hi to them. How's it going? How you feeling today? And so I build that rapport up. So, I mean, but there is always situations where there have been weddings that I've been at for 12 hours, 13 hours, and I didn't get to eat. I just didn't because a lot of times it depends on the planner. If they have a planner and they're super organized and they got things going, I mean, you're going to have a good night. A lot of times they don't even have a planner. So you are the planner. So then, I mean, you're running around, you're the one dictating where stuff, and you can't just run off for 30 minutes and go eat. So, it's just, I guess it's event dependent, but like the events that I do 9 times out of 10,
Protein bars.
Smooth. Yeah. 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 So, I'll normally, I think that's one of your questions, but I'll normally, like, before I get to the venue, I usually stop and I think it was one of your questions, like your meal.
Yeah, what's your actual meal like before a show? So so you're not having a big chili lunch, eh?
Well, actually, so what I'll do is I don't know if y'all have especially down here in Houston, man. It's a big Mexican food plate, city or whatever, and we have these places. It's like a fast food Mexican place called Chipotle.
Oh yeah, that's here too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody has
burritos.
Chipotle.
Yeah. So I'll get one of those monstrous burritos, and then I'll take a Ziploc bag, like a big Ziploc bag with me to keep it like fresh, and I'll just munch on that for like 10 hours. Like I'll just put it behind all my stuff, and if I'm like, dang, I'm starving, I'll just run back there, grab a couple bites, and get back on my booth. And so I always have that locked and loaded if I need it. But and then sometimes too, like I'll go to a wedding sometimes and they have food. I'm like, I'm not eating that. Like that looks gross. Like sorry,
It's not
I'm
like
not eating it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I mean we all have our preferences. So if they have some weird fish or something like, I'm
Where's
like,
the
nah, man.
fruit?
Yeah, I'll have some crackers. Like whatever.
We've got our chicken. So sorry, we got our steak, not our chicken. And yes, I would take the steak too. Anybody's giving me steak for free, I'm gonna eat the steak.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've gone to weddings and I've paid to go to a wedding, and I'm having steak. That's it. Oh, that's the way it's gonna be. Yeah. So okay, I've spotted your table in a couple of videos, and
Mhm.
I didn't. Once I realized you had one, I stopped looking because I have this on the question. I wanted to have some surpriseness to it. I can tell you it's white. So is your table retail or custom for your DJ table setup that you have? What do you got?
So, okay, so I have three different setups, and all the videos are on my channel if you guys want to go check it out. So, I have a basic setup which I use for backyard parties, like the one I was telling you about, like the school event. It's basically just one of those booths that you can buy like on Amazon, or I think Rockville sells one. Mine happens to be Pro X, but it's just a booth with a scrim on it, and you can fit all your stuff behind it, hide everything, and it's super convenient. I use that for like my smaller events. For my weddings, it's called the Danny Max booth, and it's a furniture booth. And my Rain One fits right in it. It looks nice. It's white. It's pretty. I put some of my lights in front of it and make it look real nice. And then I use the facade behind me with all my gear behind there, my mixer, all my wires and bags and all that stuff goes behind there, so it looks nice and pretty. And then depending on the room or where I'm at, I put the speakers next to that. So and yeah, I mean it's a really clean, pretty setup. Works in 90% of the weddings. And then I also have a custom booth that I made that I mainly keep at my house because it's so hard to transport. But but it's actually a desk I got off of Amazon for 300 bucks. And again, the video is on YouTube, so go check it out. It's it's a super clean. It's actually a reception desk, and I converted it into a DJ booth. So I'm pretty handy with tools. My dad raised me like learning how to fix everything. Like I said, I was a BMW mechanic, and anyway, so I took the reception desk, I flipped it upside down, I mounted a 3/4 inch plywood underneath it, I mounted 4 inch casters on it, flipped it back over, and then I added a shelf. I added a huge rack in there, so I have my microphones mounted in there. I have two drawers. I have again, it's in the video. I have my antenna splitters or whatever it's called for the microphones, and then I have some monitors mounted in there, my laptop stand, my microphone stand, everything. So
Except
it's
the
basically,
scale. Except the scale.
yeah, no, it's very heavy. It's very heavy.
You realize
So
so now what you're saying is you got to open a nightclub.
so for that booth, I mean, I got a video on this too. I bought a 6x12 trailer probably about 2 years ago, and that's what I use to haul my stuff to and from events. Because in Texas, we people have trailers everywhere. So damn near every event we go to, there's trailer parking or backing or whatever. And so my Danny Max booth, I just leave in the trailer, and like I said, I use that for 99% of the booth. And then if I ever feel like getting, I call it Bertha. If I ever feel like getting that big damn thing out, I can get it out. Like I said, there's 4 inch casters on it, so I can roll it right out my door and roll it up the trailer. And my wife's mom actually sewed. Harbor Freight has those moving blankets, and she
Yeah.
sewed like three of them together, and it fits underneath the booth, so it's covered. And I
They,
strap it down in there, and yeah, it's fine. It can go to and from events just fine. But yeah, so that's the three booths I use. I mean, and like I started at the beginning with the 6 foot table and my coffin case on there,
yeah.
and I did that for years. And then again, through the power of YouTube and just watching all these higher end DJs DJ bar, Rick Webb and all these guys, and Jason Jani with his $50,000 setups, it's like, and I'm like, ooh, I want to be like those guys, and just piece by piece put it together.
So when it comes to speakers, because you were just talking about that, white or black? What's your preference in buying stuff? And then I'll ask you the follow-up question to that.
Yeah. So weddings, I like white. It's more pretty. My furniture is white. It matches better, and I just love when the bride comes out. If I get a compliment on my DJ setup, dude, I'm like walking high. Like I'm like got my head out. I'm like, yeah, boy, yep. Because I just love it when, especially like not just the bride, but like the venue owners when they come out and they're like, "Wow, I really love your DJ setup." I'm like, it really means a lot to me because they see people come in there every weekend, and if they go out of their way to say that, then obviously, you're doing a good job because it's like they see guys in there day in and day out, and most of them have a table and all the wires hanging off the side and all this stuff. And so that was another reason why I joined with Danny B. Like I said, go watch his gig logs. I mean, he has some of the most beautiful setups there are, and I'm like, I want to be like that guy, like I want to be on that level, So that's what we do, So we always try to express that to our clients, It's like, yeah, we charge more than a lot of guys, but this is why, and this is what you get for that, and the professionalism and the, we show up. I show up 6 hours early. I get everything is set up and good to go 4 hours before your event starts, and I'll go in my truck and relax for 2 hours, just because that's just who we are. We want to make sure everything goes perfect. You don't have to worry about anything. The audio is going to be awesome. The party's going to be awesome. And like you said earlier, you said you don't remember anything about your DJ. I don't either. Me and my wife got married 16 years ago. I don't remember anything about the DJ, his setup. I don't remember who he was. I don't remember what he brought. I don't remember what he played. Nothing. And I thought back at that and I'm like, man,
But you enjoyed
like,
yourself.
yeah, I mean,
Then
of
that
course
means the DJ did his job.
you're getting married, right? So how can you really mess that
Why
up?
you
But I
give me?
mean,
Oh no, trust me. I've
yeah,
been to some weddings that the cops have been called at. I've been in weddings where, people end up in the hospital. Oh man, shit can just go sideways. I mean, you're doing these. I mean, it seems everything's going off pretty good, but depending on where you are. I mean, I seem to go to these weddings. I get a, back in the day, it was pretty wild. It was like, what's going on with everybody's wedding? It's crazy shit. So, by the way, I'm going to let everybody know because we're getting through the questions here and we're pretty much halfway through easy. So, if anybody has any questions about DJing gear, somebody wants somebody else's opinion besides mine, James did so much equipment. He's gone through so much, and he pays for most of his equipment. I'm going to say pretty much all of it.
yeah.
And another thing that I like is that you're willing to let it go. You're willing to sell it off, trade it in, do something with it, get into something else, and keep moving on. So that's very impressive. So I'm looking at this. All right. I had to keep this to me. I was reading it in my head just because I'm going, this is longer than just 3-word question. Stuff in your bag. So this is why I sent you the question ahead of time. So people was like, oh my gosh, what? It's spontaneous. Like, so in your parts bag, your accessory bag, your spare parts, the things that you want to have with you that you may need.
Yeah.
What do you carry around with you that you find is really important to have in a bag?
Let's see, my DJ bag. I have spare wires that connect from the controller to the laptop. I have spare batteries. I have ibuprofen. I always need that after an event because my ankles and my back will be hurting. I'm like a 255, 260 pound guy, and so I mean, when I'm on my feet for 14 hours, it hurts, So even with nice shoes, I mean, I have the on cloud shoes, but anyways, in the bag. So in the bag, I mean, I've got mints for my breath. I've got let's see, deodorant. I got spare equipment, like as far as like if my laptop were to explode, I have an iPad in there that I could quickly connect and just get music going if I need to like reboot my laptop or something. But I mean, of course, that wouldn't be in my bag anymore. It'd be out where I could get to it quick.
But you got that going. That's it.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
the stuff you keep in your bags. This way you've got it when you need it.
yeah. So it's basically the emergency stuff and the healthcare and hygiene stuff. Because I mean, here in Houston, man, like we'll be at some ceremonies, and the ceremony will be 30, 40 minutes, and it's in direct sunlight. And I mean, it'll be 95 degrees, and I'm just like, why do you do this to your guests, man? We are all about to have a heat stroke. We're about to die. And like, by
Nobody
the
brought a
time,
tent. Nobody got any
yeah,
coverage.
no.
No.
And we get inside, and it's like, dang, I gotta go like change my shirt and everything during cocktail hour because you're just soaked, and but it's part of it, it's part of the fun, I guess.
So I got a question here from DJ Kobe. We're going to start taking these as we go along, so this way I get a chance to look at my list as well. But his
Yeah.
question is, so what's your thoughts on requests?
All right, that's a great question. Shout out DJ Kobe, man. That's my man. So he actually provided me the speakers that I did in my last video.
Yeah.
And yeah. Uh I love requests. And I know a lot of DJs say they don't like them. Let me do my thing, let me whatever. Okay, within reason. So first of all, of course, I always check with the client beforehand. What are they like? What is their uh, stance on requests? Because some brides say, absolutely not. You play my music. And I'll say, okay, it's your wedding, it's your
You play
party.
my music.
Yeah, and I'll tell all the guests, hey, I have a strict playlist. I'm sorry, I can't. But if they're up for it, I mean, I love it because you're playing to the crowd, and you want them to have a good time so that after that event, they tell the bride the next day, that was the coolest wedding I've ever been to. Like, it was awesome. The DJ played the music we wanted to hear, he blended it all in, he mixed it in. And it's a challenge to me, It's like, especially if it's a song I don't know, heck yes, like, let me get
So
this
what happens when
song.
someone gives you a request? I mean, I'm going to say like, it's hit and miss three out of four times. So people are going to give you a request. You're going to like, yeah, no problem. I'll
Yeah.
find room for it. I'll find room for it.
Well,
I mean, because you're going to have people that are going to ask some pretty funky shit, and you're going to go, yeah, I ain't playing that.
yeah, I mean, it's very rare actually for me, anyways. Like in my events, a lot of times now, if it is a weird something like that, like first of all, if I don't know it, I'll load it up and listen to it in my headphones, of course. And if it's really weird, I won't play it. And then if they come up and ask for it again, I'll say, hey, I've never heard this song, and I'm a DJ, I'm a professional, I do this for a living. Are you sure that you want to play this? And if they say yes, then I'll say, okay, who are you, related to the, and I will get on the microphone and shout them out and say, hey, this is a special request by whatever, and I'll play it. And if it nukes the dance floor, then hey, it was on whoever that was. I mean, hey, I'm sorry to be an a-hole like that, but hey, I mean, it's not on me. So I mean, I'll quickly get out of it and get back into something that everybody loves, and that's where you got to hold like a few of those bangers that that works at every wedding and stuff like that. You got to hold some of them back every once in a while, just because for a moment like that, if you nuke the dance floor and everybody's like, "This song sucks," I'm going to get a drink. Okay, fine, but then you pop on that banger right after, and everybody's like, "Oh, I
Got to
gotta
put
get
down
back
my
into
drink.
it."
God damn it!
Yeah,
I just got my
I got.
fucking drink. I gotta.
So I mean, I love requests, man. I think it's a challenge. I like it, but like you said, every once in a while there is that weird one, and you're just like, come on, man, like don't do this, don't do that, or even worse, it's little kids, and that's another thing I always talk about to my brides in our consultations. I'll say, number one, are you gonna have alcohol? They say yes. I say okay, it's gonna be an awesome party. I say okay, if there's no alcohol, that's challenging, to get people dancing they gotta relax. That's why we dim the lights so you're not focused on them. That's why you get a drink or two. You don't get crazy, but you get a drink in. You're feeling loose. Okay, let's go dance. If they got little kids there, I would say, is there gonna be kids? How many kids? If there's like 50 kids and they're all running up wanting to hear Disney songs and kids bop and all this and that, it's like that's annoying, and I have to kind of try to navigate that. Like, no, I'm not sorry, I can't. But but other than that, I mean, I like requests.
it's how the world has changed. I'll tell you. There's no way when I was a kid I'd go to a wedding and say, "Yeah, I'm going to ask the DJ to play something." Yeah. So what do we got here? We've got. Well, I'm gonna. How. I've given this a number score, but so I'll ask everybody else watching this first to throw out a number, and then I'll come back and ask you what your number is.
Okay.
So for everybody watching, we're going to talk about James's basically MC skills, his skills at the wedding to keep the crowd going, to get the whole party started. 1 is he sucks at it. 10 is he's awesome at it. Then we're going to ask him what he thinks he is. So we'll answer that question last. I should have asked that one at the beginning, but So you can put a number from 1 to 10 based on his personality. We'll find out what people think of you.
All right.
How many playlists do you have? How many playlists? Yeah. So when you go there, you're going to have a bunch of different playlists that you're going to be pulling from. How many do you normally bring out with you? So this way you have an idea of what you're going to be using and what you're going to be moving around on.
So we use a app called Vibo. And Vibo is really cool, especially for weddings, because the brides and whoever they want, they can invite whoever they want into it, can go in there and put in, there's sections, ceremony, pre-ceremony.
Shout, Rick gave you an 8. Rick gave you an 8.
Nice,
Sorry, keep going. I'll call out the numbers when they show up.
Yeah. And so, reception, do not plays, all that's in there. So that's basically my playlist for the night. Now, I have all my music organized I use iTunes to organize everything just because it's easy. Like when I buy a song or I download a song off a record pool, it goes directly into my iMusic or whatever you want to call it on Apple. And then immediately when it's in there, I'll just click on the song and I put it into a playlist that I've already created. And so I have wedding bangers. I have dinner cocktail music, and it's all music that I love, and I'll pull from that. It's like as I'm DJing, I'm like, oh, this song really worked. I know that this song will work, and I'll go pull it. If it's not on the bride's list.
DJ Kobe, 9.3, buddy.
Yeah.
I want to know why the 0.3, but okay, 9.3. There you go.
Yeah, so they're pretty on point. But yeah, so I mean that's how I handle it. Like the only real playlist I go in with is the one that the bride creates, and then I build off of it. So yeah, but that's that. As far as my MC skills, I mean.
Well, there you go. So you know what,
yeah.
you know what, that was it because you already answered the burrito. So we got the burrito answer. So that was number 10, burrito. So so you got an 8, you got a 9.3. What do you think you are when you're at the shows? And what do you think? Yeah, based on you think the servers give you a pretty good score?
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for an improvement. So I wouldn't say 10 out of 10, but I mean, I think I'm pretty good, honestly. Like I said, I got amazing training from my boy DJ Danny B. If you go on his YouTube and watch his gig logs, a lot of times he puts his he has like a kind of not a routine, but like kind of a little script that he's built in his head that he uses, and it's top notch. It's really good. It gets the crowd involved. I don't want to just give it away, so you guys can go and watch his videos. But I kind of I do my own. I don't want to be a copycat, of course. So I kind of built up my own type of thing. But I'm pretty good. I mean, I'm comfortable. I'm not nervous. I'm not up there like, oh God, like that. So I've always actually, it's funny. My mom gave me a VHS cassette tape of me in 4th grade. So what are you, like, 8 years old in 4th grade, something like that? And we had a play, and this was in elementary school. This was the final year of elementary school. They take all the 4th graders and you do a play or whatever. And ours was Johnny Be Good, like the song, whatever. We had to perform it. And I had the blonde hair. I had that. So they made me the lead singer of the song. And so she has a video of me in fourth grade running across the stage, singing Johnny Be Good, dancing and all this, you know. So I've never been shy, like as far as that goes, in front of people. I like talking. I like being the center of attention. I mean, not in a like egotistical way, but it doesn't bother me. You know, whereas some people they get nervous. I get nervous at the ceremony. So before the wedding starts, an hour before the ceremony, that's when I'm my most nervous because I want it to be perfect. I want, you know, if there's a slight hiccup in the microphone or if the sound is not perfect, I'm like, so. And then once the ceremony's over, all my endorphins release, and then we go to cocktail hour and we go to reception, and I'm ready to roll, man. I'm ready to roll. So I get out on the dance floor. I tell everybody, you know, hey, where's my party table at? And there's always one table, you know, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need you guys to get on this dance floor tonight. You know, you guys are gonna set the stage. We're gonna have an awesome time tonight, you know. And I let it rip, you know, and I have a good time with it for sure. Like the video Aaron posted, you know, he's super comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm the
There you
same way.
go. So we got two questions. So one has to do, now this from Rick. Now Ricky asked me this, and I didn't get back to him on it, but it was a pretty good question, and so it's here. And so I guess he's asking you, and I'll follow with my answer on this. So subwoofers, you deal with a lot of those. You got those in most of your gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing an outdoor sub, what do you what would you do if you're doing, let's say, an open barn or an outdoor event? What would you do for subwoofers?
So again, it depends on how many guests, how big is the dance floor, how big is the area that you're trying to provide the sound at.
Let's
So
say the
of course
difference
with
between size wise. So if we're dealing with the same amount of people, right? Let's
mm-hmm.
put our standard package together. We got
Okay.
150 people at the wedding. That means we're probably going to get 50 people on a dance floor. Indoors versus outdoors. What would you do subwoofer wise? What would your speaker setup look like between those two events?
Yeah, so if it was indoors, I would just do column arrays. So I would just do, say, the most people down here use Evolve 50s, or I don't, but I mean, I did. I used Evolve 50s for like 4 years, and they're great speakers. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I just got tired of them. But if we're outdoors, I'm definitely using a point source. So I'm using an 18-inch, either one 18-inch or two 18-inch. So I have the EV ELX 200 series. So I'll use the two 18s with the 15-inch tops. Or I have the ICOA series and I have the 12-inch ICOA tops with the ICOA 18. And that one ICOA 18, I swear, outperforms the two ELX 18 subwoofers that I own. That one ICOA, dude, I'm telling you, is amazing. All you guys out there, the best bang for buck 18-inch subwoofer is the ICOA 18-inch subwoofer. It's the best. It's only $999. I think it's $1,000, and that
Yeah.
thing sounds incredible. But
Yeah,
it is
they've got,
big
yeah.
and it's heavy.
As I said many years ago, before I even got it, that's how they sent me one. Is that I gave a video where I said why I don't review ICOA speakers, right, or LD
Mm-hmm.
system product, and it was
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't have it.
Yeah.
So LD system saw the video and they said, "Okay, we'll send you that." And it was funny because they were just working on getting a distributor in the U.S. and
Okay.
basically they shipped it from Germany. It's like I'm going,
Mm-hmm.
really, dude? You're gonna ship that from Germany? Yeah, okay. But you know what? You're absolutely right. Bang for buck, regardless if you're looking at subwoofer, and I would even include their top into there.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the bass performance, it's one of the few tops that you can think twice about bringing a subwoofer for. If you're not going to play anything that's going to be big bassy, like if you're going out to do a show where you're the background,
Yeah.
you're not there for the main event. You're just there to fill the room with music. I mean, you can really think you have a subwoofer with just those tops. They have a unique way of generating sound for them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So
but
I can't wait to review them because I want to tear them apart. And I've watched your tear apart videos on the ICOAs. I want to tear apart that subwoofer and figure out why what did they do engineering wise to make it sound so much better? I mean, I guess it's the size of the box and whatever, but
And you know what? It comes down to
I mean,
all those. It's a combination of stuff. I mean,
hmm
they're they're like they're an engineering company. I mean, they over engineer the shit out of everything. Like the
yeah,
amount you go through it when you look at a lot of different boxes, you know, it looks the same in a lot of boxes, and some of them have like the same deficiencies, stuff like that. But theirs is like the engineering and design goes into their products. It's just bonkos. Like I mean,
yeah,
that's the nice part about their product. I mean, but it's like I said, they just came out with their top end series. They
yeah.
you know they
The
skip.
pro models.
So I mean, where most companies are like, you know, if you take JBL or Electro Voice, there's like more, right?
hmm
And I'm not saying good, better, best because to be honest, they're all good, they're all better, and they're all best if they're the right speaker for the right show. So,
Yeah,
but it's just, you know, how much more energy can each speaker put out versus the one before it. And the ICO line only has two because where the other ones were going to say one, two, three, basically, you know, the regular ICO is like a 1.5. And
yeah,
then, you know, it's like 3.5 for their pro. But again,
yeah.
you know, I mean, you got to mortgage your house to buy their, you know, you buy two subs and
Uh
two
huh.
tops, and it's like 10 grand or something like that. It's like some crazy
Exactly.
amount of shit that they're gonna want. It's like, wow, that's a lot of money, dude. So,
Yeah.
but so we got that. Yeah, and my thing about outdoors, I did a review years ago on a bandpass subwoofer from Mackie.
Hmm.
So if you're familiar with that, that's when you got the wraparound. Like it's more like a car subwoofer where the subwoofer is inside the box and the box
hmm
wraps around the whole thing. And then there's a V port that just pushes everything out the center. And
Wow.
very radiant. Lot of like the whole box turns into one giant cob effect. So the subwoofer, the box turns into the subwoofer. So you're not directionally pumping it out, or you're not trying to put a lot of cardio pattern into the front of the sub, even though it's very hard. The box just generates the sub, so you're not looking to compress the air around you. It's the box is just going to generate this a massive amount of energy out of it. And
Hmm.
though I'm not a fan because these boxes tend to be 30 or 40% larger, right? So think about it.
Jeez.
Take your 18-inch subwoofer and wrap a box around the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And that was the subwoofer they paired off to go with their Mackie thumps. So that was, like I said, it was a big ass fucking box. It
Yeah.
almost didn't fit through the front of the store. Get it out the door. There you go. You bought that. There you go. Take that. There you go. It's yours now. So, and let's get in the back of your two-door Honda Civic. Yes, it's
Yeah.
always like that.
Exactly.
Always like that. So, and yeah, so DJ Kobe here. Sorry, DJ Kobe. Do you really need MC skills to be a wedding DJ? Ha ha. There you go. I'm assuming there's. Do you? If you ask me, that's all you are. You're.
Yeah.
I've said it in many videos, so I'll let you say it after, but I'll tell you from sitting on this side, because we were talking about, you know, the roles I play in the world, the roles you play in the world. Like, you're
Yeah.
you being the DJ, you're the front half that the customer sees. And the role I play as the sound guy in the backside, I'm the guy you don't see. I'm the guy who just brings the sound there, and then you plug into it and you make the show happen. But I gotta say, a wedding DJ compared to anything else, because I have a lot of guys who just did clubs, and one guy who managed a club. He was an awesome guy. Count him as a friend. I'll be
hmm
honest, he was probably a dick to everybody else. You know, it's like, but I mean, the guy was the DJ, and it was like, it was two bars in one. So downstairs was a big happening hip hop club. It was like crazy shit downstairs. Upstairs was a big country bar, and fuck, could I tell you which one more fights broke out of? So, but he managed the whole thing. He had a different DJ for downstairs, and he DJ'd upstairs, and then he'd throw a playlist on that would go on for like, you know, an hour, so he can actually tend to the whole place. I'm like, really? So they come there for live music, and you're there how long? Oh, it's 4 hours. How many hours do you DJ? About an hour.
Wow.
The rest of it is like he'll put a set on and just let it drop. He'll just drop a set, go manage the restaurant, go manage the bar, and then show up and drop a whole bunch more after. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boom. But I'm going, that is nothing like a wedding DJ. Wedding DJ, you're a lot of times, like you were mentioning earlier, you don't have they don't have a coordinator. They don't have anybody putting the whole plan together. They don't have a planner. That's it, a wedding planner. And
Yeah.
then next thing you know, because you've done already 40 of these things before you, and this is their first, you show up and go, oh, you start being the last minute wedding planner to
Yep.
coordinate all these little things. Because oh no, he's wait, you telling people what to do and letting people know where they need to be at this point, so it'll
Yep.
all happen. So I'm sure that that must play. So I mean, being an MC is part of key to the whole thing, but I mean, you become a jack of all trades, and then
Yeah.
without the MC part, it's basically a guy with a playlist.
Yeah. So my opinion is you don't have to be an MC if you hire one. So, I mean, I know like Cleveland Terry talks about it all the time. Like they at all their events, they bring an actual MC and a DJ to all their events. And I mean, you can do it that way if you want to, but you're getting rid of some of your money. Some of your um,
Well, if you're doing the size, if you're doing this, if you've got 500 people in a wedding and you're charging proportionately,
yeah.
I mean, that would pay, right? I mean, you,
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy doing it. So here's the thing: you can be the best DJ in the world. You can scratch. You can like juggle songs. You can, do all this. But if you can't tell the guests when it's time to, go outside or time to get up to go eat or time to, I mean, they're gonna be like, "Who is this guy? Like, what is he doing?" Like they're not gonna
yeah,
know what to do.
yeah, and
So
that's
you
it.
have
Yeah,
to be,
you're
yeah,
you're what you call a wedding DJ.
yeah,
I mean, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, you said it right there, right? Like,
yeah.
uh, you go on YouTube, you find everybody, right? So
Mm-hmm.
amazingly enough, as soon as you start looking actually, uh, basically big performers, DJs that like they go for the show. So instead of where you're there because there's a wedding, we're talking about the people who play the special events, the venues, the places where you go to listen to their music. You go listen to their
Yeah.
place. You're
Like,
going to see the DJ.
yeah,
So
the
at
artist.
the shows, right, at the big venues. So, um, but yeah, you've got that, and then you got the guys who run the bars and do the clubs and stuff like that. And so, how are you for like? Are you looking for any permanent like? I do this bar every Thursday night kind of gig, or are you just planning on sticking with the doing the wedding stuff?
Yeah, for me personally, no. Like I did that at the beginning when I first got into DJing. I tried it all. I DJ'd at a pub here in town. It's called it's an Irish pub, Moe's Irish Pub. I DJ'd there um, a few times. I tried to DJ at this place called Bombshells. It's like a restaurant like type deal, and at night they bring in a DJ. The problem with that is, number one, I have a family, and that's nightlife. And number two, they don't want to pay anything. So like you'll go there and DJ for 3 hours, and they want to give you $100 and like two beers, and it's like, yo, man, like,
That's not the
I,
point of this. Yeah, I'm not here
yeah,
for that. Yeah.
yeah. So I still did it because I love doing it, and I loved like, I learned a lot during that time, but like, there's no money in it, and there's no like unless you're like David Guetta or something, like there's no accolades in it or whatever. You're just some
No, and
guy
that's it.
playing
Yeah,
music.
it's yeah. I look at some of the playlists for some of the big shows, right? Like
Yeah,
the 3 day venues, and it's 3 days, 12 hours a day, and you're looking at playing like 3, 4 different tents, and some people come and get paid $1,000, $2,000, but they get all their expenses paid. So to them,
yeah,
but hey, good for them. Do you plan on talking about that? So we'll cover one more question, then I'll ask you the big question
yeah,
at the end. So again, from Ricky, he's asking. Now this is an easy answer for me. I mean, I go through an awful lot of stuff, but if someone's just going to blatantly ask me this question, I'm going to give him an answer.
yeah.
The V4412 Harbinger speakers. Are you familiar with those? First, I'll ask you if you're familiar with those.
Me
That's
personally,
that's
no, I've
so,
never
but
heard of
I
them.
mean, they're Harbinger's top of the line piece.
Yeah,
They're in power class wise PRX, like the middle of the road for Electro Voice and JBL for overall power. If you know, um, pair those speakers with the ICOA 18-inch. Now, I'm going to say it's easy for me without knowing everything else. Is that an overkill? No, 1/18 inch. It's rare that, to me, there's no such thing as overkill when it comes to bass. That's me, my personal opinion. You can turn the
Yeah, me
bass
too.
down. See, that's the whole point. Bass doesn't have to be turned up. So, I
Yeah.
mean, but if you want to, you can only make your system so loud. There's a limit. You can, even if your system can go to stupid level, to 11, we don't live in the 1970s anymore. There's laws now that actually tell us we have to stop at 99.9 dB. We can't
Mm-hmm.
compress the air in the room any more than that. We can't put people deaf anymore. We're not allowed. It's like, you can't make people's ears ring anymore. Good. So you got to figure out other ways. And to me, the sub is your best friend because you can really bring that up and then you can recycle it back down again and bring it up. So, I mean, putting one big giant ICOA sub with a couple of nice top 12-inch speakers, what's your thoughts on that?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's what I said. I use the ICOA 12s because, and the LD Systems ICOA 12s, their only downside is they're really heavy, but like they're not expensive either. They're like $500, I think, each,
Mm-hmm.
which is like for most, tops, that's middle of the road. You've got $1,000 tops, you got $1,200 tops. So for me, the LD Systems ICOA, just entire lineup is an amazing lineup. It's just they're heavy, so you got to go to the gym and work out, man, because to lift those damn things up onto 6 foot in the air onto a thing, it ain't easy. I'm telling you, it ain't
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, you need the jack. And we were talking about this. This is a topic that came up before, and I've said that a lot of times. People criticize me on it's good speakers way. And yes, absolutely good speakers way, but proportionately where this speaker is supposed to sit with all the other speakers, it's a
Yeah,
heavy speaker in its class. In its
yeah,
class,
exactly.
it's about the heaviest thing you're going to put. And I'll be honest, I mean, if you're, and I don't know if you noticed this or not, but if you search like Cove videos, you're going to see that when they originally came out, I don't know what the deal was, but they were selling that in the States for $299.
Oh my God, you
Now
talk
you
about a
look at it and you're
deal.
like at $599 for the same speaker. It's like doubled in price. And it's like,
299 is an incredible deal, man. If I would have bought
YouTube,
10 of them if I had
YouTube
known.
it. I mean, when they launched,
Yeah,
they were like super, super intro to. That was the. I don't think it had the Bluetooth control on it, but still, that was a $50 difference. So we're talking 350. So I mean,
yeah,
uh, I don't know what happened, but their price point just went ripping through the roof real fast. They came out of this entry price. I think they realized they were way too low, and then they brought it
yeah,
to where it belonged. But I mean, again, it's a premium product. I think, it's because I get to play with everything, so I get that
yeah,
chance with all of the different ones. And Ricky's talking about the 4412s, which again, full app control stuff like that is pretty awesome. If you go to a Guitar Center, see, this is the funny part. I have the biggest selection of Guitar Center products in my store, in my showroom, but I have to drive to the U.S. to go to the store. So everything has to be sent to me up here. So I get everything. I'm lucky that way. I get everything up here sent to me. It's like I have people all the time saying, "Oh man, I'm in Canada. Where did you buy stuff? Dude, sorry, we don't have a Guitar Center yet. It's not here yet." So, but let's see. We got some questions here. So we'll go to your buddy. Let's go because
See,
I
that's
want
the
to
thing too with
upgrade my
me is
setup.
like
Yeah.
I've never owned any of the top of the line speakers. So all my speakers have either been mid tier or lower. Like I have the ICOA series, I have the ELX 200 series, which is just one step above their lowest, series.
That's a
And I've
pretty good
had
speaker,
the
though. I've seen that speaker in action. I've had customers buy it, and I've tried it in the store.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I never got a chance because all the more expensive stuff was ordered in. Like, so people would buy. So people would come in and look at a ZLX, right,
mm-hmm,
in my showroom, and from
mm-hmm,
the ZLX they would say, okay, yes, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. So we'd sit down and talk about what they want, and then just order it in for them, right?
mm-hmm, yeah,
So, I didn't get a chance to, outside of hearing it, to make sure it was working properly. And I can tell you that, everything bangs all the way up, right? So,
right,
but that's a good quality speaker. That's a good quality speaker. And you know what? I mean, if you know where your limits are,
yeah,
you'll know if you need to buy, spend like more money
yeah.
for a higher end piece of equipment. But you don't seem to be stuck with that. So I'll
Well,
let
I'm
you I'll let
hoping.
you talk, and I'm going to just read here. So I'm staring at my monitor reading the questions here, so this way we get them up. But you go ahead.
Okay, so I'm hoping that with my channel getting more popular and stuff like that, that I'll have access opportunity in the future to the 4412 harbingers and stuff like that. Um, hopefully, and then I've even reached out to companies and said, hey, can I get a hold of some of your good stuff? I'll review it and then I'll send it back to you because I don't need it, but I mean, I just want to check it out and play with it because I love it. I think it's cool. I want to showcase your technology or whatever. And so I mean, I'm out there. I'm hustling. I'm trying. And I got stuff coming in, but like I said, I've just never. To me, it's like why buy one speaker that costs $1,500 when I could get three of the tier right under it. You know what I mean? Like or
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple.
yeah.
It's just like I just don't. I don't know. Is it really that much better? I'm like I don't know. I'm not taking a chance on that. Like I would rather have three of the other ones than one of the good. That's like the video I just did with Exoton. I mean, that 15-inch sub and that top, they're great sounding column speakers. You can put it right against the EV50, and I mean the EV50 is $2,000. This speaker's 550. So you can get four of these for the cost of one Evolve 50.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about that, and you know what? I right on my table here, for example, I'm working my next video, which is the Phoenix Pro. I always think it should be called Pro Phoenix, but Phoenix Pro, and
Yeah.
it's their. You mentioned it, and you're right. It's their top of the line wireless microphones,
Yep. That's what I
and
use.
and people ask me, people comment, well, it's not, because I know I did the unboxing there on my last live, and people make comments. Well, it's not buying a Shure, it's not
Your
buying this or
Sennheiser.
that,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm going to be reviewing a whole bunch of Sennheiser, and they're absolutely worth the money you're buying. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of new companies, and to me, like listening to that subwoofer, listening to that line array, it's a whole thing there. But these companies are, I'm not going to say they're underdogs. These are up and comings. These are companies that are putting an awful lot. And it's like, I'm not going to, because I'm going to say 75% of everything that's made and we buy comes from China because they do exactly what they're told. I always make the stupid reference of, because most people have, at least on YouTube, figured out that Apple phones are made by Foxconn, which is a giant manufacturing facility in China, who's like, has put nets around their building to save their employees when they jump off the roof. And if you don't
That's
know
so crazy.
if you don't know that story, it's true.
No,
So
I've heard it before.
yeah,
That's
so
insane, dude.
but at the same time, you know, the factories can do it. If there's a design, if there's a company who thinks they can market their product up, they're going to do it. Like these guys are benchmarking themselves. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep doing this. This is a serious piece of gear. This is an $800 to $1,000, depending on what brand you stick this name on it, right? If
Yeah.
I change the name of this and put some of the other brands, the shit that's inside this microphone, it's
Yeah.
$1,000. I don't care what brand you put on it, So I mean, that's the whole thing. Same thing with those speakers. I was looking at it. I'm going, well, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna take care of all these videos first before I piss off James and reach out to that company and see if they want to hook me up with some speakers.
No,
But
I hope they do. The more the merrier.
so it's like, I looked at it. I'm going, this is the downfall, and I'm going to give away some of the magic here. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I cover everything. So, Kobe had a thing here. You think you can go with two 12-inch and one 12-inch sub? See, again, Kobe, that's I'll answer it first, and you can answer it because you actually do it. And Kobe, how much? Oh, how much is the microphone? All right, so the microphone that I have here, $433 a set. These happen to be. That's like I said, it's stupid. Like if you're not using microphones like that, DJing out and about where you're banging them around all the time. Now, if you're a live band and something like that, I always joke, it's like, I always use, Taylor Swift as a good reference. She doesn't look at the price of shit. She doesn't even know what's being used in her shows, right? She just puts on an awesome kick-ass show, and millions of dollars are spent all the time to do it, right? I mean, that's how that shit happens, and they can get whatever they want. So this is from Pro Phoenix. This is the PTAU-2. 2H. So if you go to Amazon, you type in Pro Phoenix, there you go. Go look at my last live show, and it's awesome, right? So like I said, I'm working on that. That's awesome, and it's a bargoon. But yeah, so gear. But when you're doing what you're doing, you know, like you said, your table's on wheels, this is on wheels, got to go in a trailer, shit like that happens. God forbid you haven't lost anything or gotten anything stolen yet. I may be misspeaking. Didn't ask you if you ever got anything stolen or disappeared. So, have you ever lost anything yet?
No, no, fortunately not. No.
Very lucky on that.
Yeah.
So, Kobe's
I
asking
haven't.
212s and 212s. What do you think of that? 212s and 212 subs. I have a hard time
Uh,
with that one.
yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. Like whatever your tops are, I would go the next size up for a subwoofer at least. Like if you have 12-inch tops, I would go with a 15 minimum for a sub, or even better an 18. But this is my preference because I like to feel the bass. I like to, and plus, like with the bigger sizes, like an 18, it hits those lower notes, and you don't have to go as loud, and it just feels, especially in a wedding, it feels more like warm, feels more like a pleasing sound. Whereas the smaller subwoofers, like 12s and stuff, they have a punch to where like you can feel it, but like it's a different feeling. It's hard to explain, but
Yeah, it doesn't travel as far. It
yeah,
loses its energy quicker, and that's always
yeah,
like people ask me that all the time. If you have 412s, if you're getting like 12s in pairs, some of the manufacturers put them in sets, right? So you're stacking them, right?
yeah,
So they're in sets, or they are when they're in hanging column arrays. You'll get 212s in a pack, or 210s in a pack. But that's directional steering for a subwoofer, and that's a whole different
yeah.
a whole different story. But yeah, so like I look at it, and I always go and say, what's your throw distance? What type of music are you playing? Right? Are you trying to build a three-way speaker, or are you trying to build like a dance setup speaker? Right? So to me, a three-way speaker is I'm doing this for a band. Right?
Yeah.
So I've done lots of bands, and if I know a band's going to play, well, I'll have a 15 with the horn on top, and then I'll pair it off with a 15 subwoofer, and then the sound is much smoother for a band because it'll carry the drums, it'll carry everything through it, and everything will come out really nice. But again, if I'm doing it for DJ, uh, bigger the better. I used to be like, oh, you have to have at least one sub. That was 7 years ago. Then it was like 5 years ago. You have to have two subs. You got to always have two subs with you. If you want to impress, you got to have four subs. Four subs is what you got to have. So, and it's like, I would prefer to have $4,000 subs than have two $1,500 or $2,000 subs, because I know how the
Interesting.
engineering is. I would group them all together, solid line in the front, straight line subs,
Yeah.
and then I would basically, I'm trying to figure out, I'm this way or this way, I'm this way, this way, and then basically have that all together, because there's a wall of energy being built back and forth. You've created a vertical, horizontal column of sound that's just going to come off as one single push. I'm not going to be worried about stereo waves mixing back and forth and canceling each other out. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean, that's I've had guys on YouTube, Spanish band, Mexican band. Anyways, they do this whole big setup, and it's always in a parking lot. I feel horrible for all their equipment because it's like a gravel dirt parking lot somewhere
Jeez.
in Mexico or New Mexico, somewhere there. And they set up, and always every time they have a video, it seems like the wind's blowing. But they set up their band, and then people come out, and it's a big dance party, right? And they had four of the Harbinger speakers. They're 18s. The previous, I don't know if it's the VS, but 23 18s I think it was. But they had four, and they had two on one side, two on the other side. And they said the problem was is that they noticed that as it got hot and the air would move around. It's amazing this happens. As it warm. You're in Texas, so you know this. I mean,
Yeah.
if the heat and humidity builds up in the afternoon, and you're playing music, and people start walking around. If you walk around the back of the outdoor venue, just like 30 feet away from the sound feels like it's wobbling back and forth. So I'm sure you've come up with you've hit that where the sound just seems like you're not controlling it anymore. So, and they were having it, and I told them, I said, try putting all those steps together. Just put them all together. Take them, squeeze them
Yeah,
into the center,
coupling is a thing that I
and
just
bring it
learned
together.
about.
So yeah, so bring that together. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
I'd have to defer to you. I'm glad that we met because now if I have questions, you'll be the first one I'm calling because I mean, I'm just a dumb DJ. I mean, I just throw everything on the floor and I let it rip, and I'm like, oh, this sounds good. All right, cool. But I'm learning slowly, how to make them sound better and more tune them better and how to do the gains better and just from your videos.
well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, and then the
Yeah,
worst
for
part is you
sure.
watch another video where I do it completely different way. You're going, what the fuck's he doing that? That's
Well,
not. I've been doing it like that for like a year and a half now. All of a sudden, there's a video and it's like this way now, and it's like,
I just watched a video on your MLS 1000s, how you can link it and control the one MLS to control the subwoofer and the other. And I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm gonna play with my stuff outside
there
and
you
do
go, there you go.
that.
So we've got Rick spending money. That's good. Rick, make sure you use my link to make that happen. It's a good time for me to plug my links. So there's always a link down below, way down at the bottom today, because I put James on top for everything. So his YouTube channel's there. If you subscribe to it, that's very important. If you're shopping for anything, use my links because it's my channel. When we're on his channel, you can use his links. So there you go. But so I think we're all good there. I mean, this was pretty awesome for the first show.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm looking at the time going, we've done it like in an hour and a half. We booked an hour for it, and I hope your wife is going, you talking to that fucking Canadian again? That fucking guy never shuts the fuck up. Jesus Christ. He just goes and goes and goes. So is she standing there off camera or something? No. Is she in the room there with you? You're laughing. Is she or she's not?
No. My wife's cool, man.
No, I'm saying that she's cool, but I just feel bad because we've talked like 3 times, and it's like, man, he said he was calling you for 10 minutes, and it's like, what the fuck?
No, man.
No. You have a very cool. Your wife is very cool. It's like, it's you're. I always say that you're lucky that she's willing to participate in your crazy shows. So
I know, I am.
and
I'm very lucky.
tell her that she's her short video is very thumbs up with the where she makes a perfect statement, by the way. Actually, you can tell her that I played that because my wife used to manage our store. So we had a big store. I ran the floor, she ran operations. So her job was to make sure everybody came and went and everything got ordered, everything, so she basically, her job was to make me look good.
Yeah.
So, I was the face of it and she's the back end of it. She did all the operations of it. So I showed her that video, your short video, where she just basically drops it. I'm glad they're not mine. glad you didn't. I'm glad these aren't yours. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Reality check. So there you go. Well, tell your wife I love her very much. I appreciate seeing her in the videos. That's very important. Tell her not to get the wrong idea. And you know what? I'm sorry I talk too much. This I know.
No, it's fine, dude. Like I told you, man, I could sit and talk to you. I could sit and talk to you for 10 hours, dude. Like nonstop. I mean, like I said, I love the gear just as much as you do, and that's I try to gig log on my DJ channel, and I'm like, man, I just don't like. It's not. I like the gear. I want to focus on the gear.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. So that's where I'm gonna be focused from for a while, and I might actually, when I actually take the gear that I'm talking about or featuring, and I go to a wedding and I use it, I might film some content at the gig and showing how I'm using it and stuff like that.
Well, you say you're there that early. I mean, if you're there that early, that's
Yeah.
your opportunity
Yeah,
to
for sure.
film some shit, and then
So
I'll
I think I will do that.
and I'll give a spoiler to everybody. So he's going to film stuff there, and there's probably really good music that's going to play. But when he gets back home, he's going to replace that for royalty-free shit. So this way he doesn't get a copyright strike every time and loses monetization. And so I'm gonna go one question here. I'm just gonna follow up on this question, and then I'm gonna ask you a question and see how close I am. So I don't know if you have a free screener there. Go to your YouTube studio page and see how you are. Don't tell me the numbers. See how you are for your overall how many watch hours you have. And I'm going to ask you a question in a second, see if I'm right. By the way, so Ricky, if you're going, hopefully you're going to go to a Guitar Center, because they don't pay my bills yet, but I'm trying to get them to pay my bills. And if I can get them to pay my bills, that would be very good. But if you're going to a store, you can always look in store, purchase it on your phone through the app using one of my links. Hopefully you use my links to get you onto Guitar Center a couple of times. So this way my cookie's solid embedded onto your site. Then when you're in store, you can say, I'm going to buy those speakers. And they're going to say, oh, that's so great of you. Thank you so much. And then you're going to go, but I'm paying for it on my phone, and I'm going to pick it up in store. So this way, if you pay on your phone and pick it up in store, ta-da! You've helped me out financially without it costing you anything. By the way, Ricky, if you're looking, I forgot to mention at the beginning because I don't want people running off going, oh my gosh. They're having an open box sale. So right now, open boxes in Guitar Center are always marked down like 10 to 20%, depending on what they are and what the cost is of it. And open boxes are when they have too many extra display models, or if somebody bought something on Tuesday and bought it back on Friday and said, man, it's not my cup of tea, or they bought something else, they exchanged for something else. Those items, which are called open box, we see that at Best Buy as well. Those products are normally discounted 10 to 20%. Well, if you use your app right now, you can get another 10% off. That's like buying it at dealer cost, because usually there's no more than 30% margin in these things. So if you're looking to buy something like that, 30% off. Now the problem is they're not the same everywhere, but you have to buy it on the app. I don't know if you can still pick up in store, but it doesn't work on the computer. Only works on your app. If you go on your computer, it'll actually say you need to go to your app to get the promo code. But I forgot. I think it's called Gear Up 10 is the promo code. Anyways, that's this weekend. If this happens to be Monday or this happens to be 2028, sorry, dude, you're out of luck. But if it's this weekend, that code works there for you. So that's an extra 10% off. So hopefully, save some money. Buy an open box. It never hurts, because you're only going to keep this shit for 3 years. Then you're going to trade in and trade up. I'm like the best salesman for Guitar Center, man, and I'm not even there. So yeah. So that's very important. So when you go, there's lots of reasons. By the way, and if you're a professional, anybody who says poo-poos on shopping at Guitar Center, by the way, it's BS. Because anybody who's like in the know knows that Guitar Center there's Guitar Center Pro, just like there's all kind of Pro, but Guitar Center Pro is when you come in and you pull out your wad of cash and it's like, and or you're coming in and you're going to drop $10,000-$15,000. You don't talk to the nice person who's there because they like to have a job so they can keep playing in their band. You get to talk to a sound engineer. You get to talk to the next person. There's people that are like there specifically for that. You make appointments to talk to those people because you're like spending a shitload of money. But that's what it's like anywhere. There's always the professional commercial grade, like people have to buy their $10,000 mixing boards from somewhere. That's how they do it. Anyways, I'm sorry for throwing in. This is your show, and I'm just like going off on that. So that was it. Thanks, Rick, by the way. Yes, I just wanted to say, because I saw he was going to buy something, so I thought he'd make some money here at the same time. Awesome. Yeah. So we should do this again, and we should do some product review on, and we should make sure we know how we're doing this, and then 2, make a list of product we want to, we should make a Christmas list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go. So are we good for tonight? I think everybody's here. Everybody did wonderful. I want to thank everybody for coming. James, I'll leave the last words up to you, and I think we'll pull the plug at that point. We'll call it a show, and then next time, it's up to you. You decide. So just so everybody knows, I'm going to be on his channel when he wants me. So that'll be his call, and he gets to decide how that happens and when that happens, and then we'll send out a list for that as well. So go ahead. I'll leave you with the last words, and then I'll try and find the button like always.
All right. Well, thank you, DJ Kobe. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, everybody who came and participated. That was super cool of you guys. And I'm super humbled, and I appreciate you having me on your platform. Since you have like 50 times the amount of subscribers I have, I really appreciate it. You're taking care of the little guy, and that's really a cool thing, man. You're paying it forward, and hopefully I can do that in the future as well. and hopefully we can build something off of this. I mean, I consider you a friend now,
Appreciate
and
that.
I'm
Thanks.
happy.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah, I'm happy you reached out to me, and you've answered a lot of questions, even behind the scenes that you guys haven't seen. You know, we've talked quite a few times now and developed a relationship, and I'm thankful for it. So appreciate you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. And
Hmm.
now I'm going to ask you that last question I forgot to ask you because I made you look at your studio. I'm going to say, I'm going to guess, you're at between 3,000 and 3,400 watch hours.
All right. You know what's crazy? I went to YouTube Studio. First of all, I don't even know where to find that. But secondly, I saw it, and the little bell icon was lit up, and I clicked on it, and my notifications, it says people are getting hooked on your channel. Congrats on reaching 4,000 hours of watch time. Keep giving them what they want.
There you go. And for
Yeah.
anybody who doesn't know why I'm applauding, two parts he needs to hit for actually hitting full monetization on YouTube is 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
hitting what most people think is the hard part. And I got to be honest, your content's very good. I'm sure people sit there and watch it. Especially, I estimated what's at 3,000 to 3,400. I was giving you
Hmm.
4 minutes average. So that means you've been doing 5 minutes average, which is really good. So I know we're talking shop talking. That's not, anybody out there who wants to start a YouTube channel, it's very hard because all you do is stare at hockey sticks all the time. And James knows what I'm talking about. What hockey sticks is. People come watch your video. Fans like you guys are all super fans, and I know that. And you guys come watch the shows and be part of it all the time, and see what's going on. But normally people watch, they click and they don't know what they're looking at, and then they go, "It's not for me," and they click out, and that
Yep.
happens. And then that's the hockey sticks goes down, and then and then it goes straight across. And you're hoping to get that. You want to get like a really worn out hockey stick, which is very short at the top, so it just comes down a little bit and goes. But most people, it's like 50, 60%, and then it kind of swoops out. So, but you're doing pretty good because I'm going to say your average is about 5 minutes based on how many views you've had. So,
Uh,
congratulations. It's really nice that you saw
yes.
that now.
Yeah, it says average view duration 5 minutes 10 seconds.
Shit, it's like I should be a goddamn fucking coach or something, eh?
Yeah, you're
Well,
like a YouTube guru, man. Because like I said, I didn't even know where to find that.
there you go. So yeah, so there you go. So that's perfect. Like I said, you've been doing really well. I like your channel. I like it when people are themselves. So it's funny because it's hard to bring original content. Because we
Yeah.
see it, watch everybody. People don't realize that is that I watch everybody. Everybody watches me. We all watch each other. I mean, this is what this is what we do. This isn't all I do is watch. But I mean, when I'm on my Expert Island account, that's usually what I'm doing. I'm learning from what you're doing because, of course, again, I'm not the guy in the front. I'm the guy behind helping
Hmm.
you, right? So it's would I like to be out there more? Yeah, but you know what? I, I can make playlists. I can do sets. I can do all that kind of stuff. And I can certainly talk to people. No problem. I can be the MC guy all night long. But I love music. But
Yeah.
I'm shit at I've tried playing drums. I through school I did all that shit, and it just I love it. I love people playing. I'm super interested on everything, every different nationality, race, instrument, all of that. I love electronic stuff, anything electronic for sure. But I'm just
Yeah.
shit at actually making it happen. So that's why I'm on the back end making you guys look good. Anyway, so we're going to leave it at that. I want to thank again everybody, myself personally, for there. I want to thank you for coming on to the show today. If you haven't subscribed to James's channel, it's right there in the middle of the screen. That's the QR code right there if you're watching it on your TV. That's why I stuck it right in the middle. And by all means, the links are down below. See you soon. James, I want to say thank you personally.
Thank you.
Everybody seems to really like you because, you got a whole bunch of and we'll see you on the next show. So everybody, I'd like to say bye for now. James, I'll see you in 5 seconds.
All right.
And here, look, I found the end button too.